Hi, I'm Andrew from Nile. If managing guest user access feels overly complex or risky, I'll show you a simpler model. With Nile, you get secure guest connectivity delivered as a cloud service that's fully isolated from the enterprise network. It's a model that IT can trust and that your guest users can rely on. Guest access in most enterprise networks is still commonly implemented using VLAN based segmentation and dedicated guest SSIDs. In this model, employees, unmanaged guests, and IoT devices all connect to the same switching and wireless infrastructure, with VLANs used to logically segment traffic. This creates operational complexity because organizations must maintain guest VLANs, DHCP scopes, firewall rules, and internet access policies. It also introduces risk and operational overhead since unmanaged guest devices still traverse the corporate network. And since guest traffic appears to originate from the enterprise network, organizations must manage DMCA complaints, internet abuse monitoring, and content filtering. Nile takes a different approach by delivering guest connectivity as a cloud based network service. When a guest device connects to Wi Fi, its traffic is automatically tunneled to the nearest Nile cloud point of presence. Nile provides automated DHCP, NAT, and internet breakouts using a Nile public IP address. Because traffic exits directly from the Nile cloud, guest traffic never traverses the enterprise network and remains completely isolated from internal resources. Each guest device is automatically isolated with the default deny posture, preventing lateral communication and protecting the enterprise environment. This architecture eliminates the need for things like guest VLANs, anchor controllers, DMZ infrastructure, and complex firewall configurations. The result is a simpler and more secure model where guest connectivity is delivered as part of the Nile service. With the Nile portal, administrators can configure multiple onboarding methods to support different guest scenarios. The most common experience is a captive portal flow where guests connect to the Wi Fi and are redirected to a branded login page for authentication. Organizations can choose several authentication options, including email or SMS access codes, sponsor workflows, or device based registrations. In a sponsor approval workflow, employees grant guest access to guest users, allowing secure onboarding without requiring network administrator involvement. For environments that need pre-provisioned credentials, Nile also supports PPSK-based access, enabling unique keys for individual devices. For a seamless connectivity experience, Nile also supports Passpoint, allowing compatible devices to connect automatically without manual portal interaction. For employee BYOD onboarding, SSO can be enabled for the guest network. All onboarding methods feed into the same automated lifecycle management system. Because onboarding and session lifecycle are fully automated, organizations can scale guest access across thousands of users without operational overhead. Administrators can apply URL filtering policies to restrict unwanted internet categories while still providing open access for visitors. Together, these capabilities allow organizations to deliver secure guest connectivity consistently across every site without deploying additional infrastructure. Here we'll demonstrate the guest onboarding experience from the user's perspective. The user begins by connecting to the Nile Secure Guest SSID. Once connected, the device automatically launches the captive network assistant, presenting the guest access portal. The organization is using SMS-based authentication for guest onboarding. The user simply enters their mobile number to request an access code. Within seconds, the user receives a text message containing a one-time access code. The user enters the code into the portal to complete the authentication. Once verified, the session is activated and the device is granted internet access. We can see that the device has been assigned a public IP address, indicating that guest traffic is securely routed through the Nile service and isolated from the enterprise network. To summarize, Nile delivers a simpler and more secure access experience with complete traffic isolation, less operational complexity, and fast, trusted connectivity for every guest.